What's up? It's me, Zeb, here on Zeb's Corner, and today we're going to be doing stack vocals for our April audio month, sort of speak kind of stuff. And I'm going to really just not really get into the whole, this is the proper way to do it. This is just one of the ways that I do it, and one of the ways that I find some people who send me stuff and they tend to stack their vocals for different width or wideness or whatever the case is. There is a recipe that you can begin with and start with so you could get some more width and more oomph in your sound when you are stacking vocals. You can stack your vocals in several different ways for several different effects. So I'm going to show you one way that I do it for not parallel compressing, because that's something else. I'm going to show it to you in how you could get a wider chorusy sound. And so let's just get into it. All right, so here we have a session where I have an artist who is doing a sort of remix challenge to a song that was out during the summer last year, and it was a big deal in the dance hall world. It was called Dumpling. Unfortunately, I cannot play you the music because I do not own the rights to the music. So, but what I could play you is his verse, or a part of his verse. So we have here a part of it, and as you can see, I'm gonna take that off, and these that are highlighted are the duplicates, or some of them are duplicates. Now, kind of explain what I did here. I actually did this song. I recorded it in Audition, and then I sent it over into Pro Tools. When it recorded, or when it exported it out, it gave me stereo tracks. So I split those stereos into mono, and I didn't rename them because I was just lazy. So the left is the lead, and this right is obviously the other side of this stereo. So, but I kept it as a duplicate, and these are also stereo, and then I split those into mono as well, and so they're kind of like duplicates. So these are not necessarily duplicate takes of a mono, they're just left and right of one, and I separated them into different performances, which is what you could do, which is what I did because I was just lazy of duplicating the track itself. So these automations are parts that I want enhanced when they come in, but before they do that, let me just play you his take, and we will take it from there.
Style them sick and crazy, so me stay active, never lazy. And the way you are wine, it amaze me. Man, I keep it real. When you see me go up and I move, style them sick and crazy.
All right, so you guys get the idea. So there's all bunch of automation going on here and stuff like that. I think these are grayed out. I think I actually took these out and I kept automation. I do that sometimes. Anyway, this was done pretty quickly, but the idea of it came out pretty good, and I like what it did. So I have no complaints there. So what we're gonna do now is turn this on. I just want to see something. These are kind of low, so we're gonna turn those up only so you could hear the effect of when they come in. All right, because the key is subtle movements bring subtle taste, or I shouldn't say subtle taste. Subtle movements make the effect stronger as opposed to, all in your face. So these are pretty up there in volume, and we're going to play them now, and then the automation will come on.
Style them sick and crazy, so me stay active, never lazy. And the way you are wine, it amaze me. Man, I keep it real. When you see me go up and I move, style them sick and crazy, so me stay active, never lazy. And the way you are wine, it amaze me. Man, I keep it real. When you see me go up and I move.
So you guys get the idea. Let's just play those automations on by itself.
Style them sick and crazy, so me stay active.
Wait. Oops. Now we can go.
crazy, never lazy. I keep it real. When you see me go up and I move.
All right, so those were just these takes in the green, and the lead was quiet. Let's hear it one more time.
I'm crazy, never lazy. I keep it real. When you see me go up and I move.
All right, so now in context with everything, so put that back on.
Style them sick and crazy, so me stay active, never lazy. And the way you are whine, it amaze me. Man, I keep it real. When you see me go up and I move.
All right, so the idea is, what did I do before I even give you the idea? What I did was turn that on. So this purple one at the top is a duplicate of this green one, and this orange and this green at the bottom here are left and right of the stereo split into mono. So they're actually just basically duplicates of themselves. And I put a doubler on it and had it hit at 3 to -3. We're going to turn this one off and boop. And you're going to see that this one, track 2L, is 6 and -6. So the percentage of the tune has dropped slightly. And take this one off and turn that one on. And I put this fourth one. I don't know. I put a double of 4. I just must have been bored or something. And the two that are on are 9 and -9. So the detune changes per take, right? So this one is slightly out of tune. This one is slightly more out of tune from this one. And this third one is slightly more out of tune than these two. So you change the percentage subtly so it doesn't sound drastic. Now, you could do that here if you were to go to pitch shift, and you could do the same thing there as well per track. You could change the percentage, something like, again, 3, or maybe even just get a little bit more drastic and go something like 12, and then render it, and then same for the one at the bottom and the same for the one here as well. That's another idea, but I did it within the track because, again, laziness. So it gives you the idea of a little bit more width that you could hear, that you could hear against the main track. So again, when you listen to these, you hear them relate to each other as almost different takes. So let's mute that. Actually, let's take that off. All right, and let's listen to these in itself. And when they come in on the automations, listen to how they almost do sound like different performances.
Style them sick and crazy.
Well, I don't know why that keeps coming back on. Off.
Crazy, never lazy. I keep it real.
All right, one more time.
Crazy, never lazy. I keep it real.
All right, so that gives you the idea that it's working, and you just have to now blend to taste so that they sound like ad-lib takes. I could have easily chopped it up and only just used those parts, but I was just playing with it and I was just trying something. So I wouldn't really have it that hard with the music because I didn't want it to really hit that hard. And if I could play the music, you would have been able to hear what I was going for. But I think you guys get the idea with what I'm trying to do here. So let's leave it roughly about right here. And let's see if we could hear them come in and out.
Style them sick and crazy, so me stay active, never lazy. And the way you are whine, it amaze me. Man, I keep it real.
Let's bring it up a little bit more. It's not so bad. I hear it. Not sure if you guys could hear it, but let's bring it up a little bit more.
Style them sick and crazy, so me stay active, never lazy. And the way you are whine, it amaze me. Man, I keep it real.
So the idea again is your doublers or whatever you use to pitch shift, do it within percentages, slightly different from the other. I could have done some more moves, EQ moves and stuff to give it a little bit more room effect or less of one than the other. Those are other ideas as well. And because I really did this pretty quickly, I didn't really pay attention to it heavily. But those are other moves you could do as well. But the idea is don't duplicate and then just leave it there. You don't want that to happen because all that's going to really do is only going to make the duplicate take sound or feel a little bit more loud. We don't want that. We want width in this particular case. And of course, you play with the extreme and then you bring back down for subtle taste and good performance. You know, a lot of times it's very hard for the artist to duplicate the take almost identical. Very hard thing to do. So duplication in this case here does work. It's a cheat, but it works because you're not trying to have the performer perform it exactly. You would stress them out, you would wear them out, and they just don't want to do the song anymore. And we don't want that. We just want a subtle repeat of the same performance, and duplication does that. You just change the pitch here and there. It's a cheat. I'm sure everybody does it. I know a lot of people do it. And if you're not aware of how it's done, this is just one of the basic ways that it's done. And yeah, time for me to go to the store. So as you can see, that's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. It's nothing crazy. It's basic. You could use it. You could work on it. You could try it. And you can experiment with it and see how it works for you. So there's no rules to the game per se, but there are guidelines, and we can play with those guidelines and then see what we come up with when we are actually behind the desk and experimenting and recording and stuff like that. I hope you guys like what I had to give you here today. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the little belly thing to let you guys know I'm coming with stuff. And I will certainly see you later.